Hello everyone! Today we are gonna study high quality Haengma. Have you seen this 28 before? When you see the professional games, they always love to play this movement. But this is really high quality move. When you see this move, you can see that this weakness directly. But even we have this weakness, strong players are using this one. So I'm gonna teach you perfectly why they are using this one. If you don't play anything, then in the future, white might be afraid of black to play here. So now that is the reason why to restrict this area first. Actually there are two choices. White can jump like just now, and even white can attach. I guess maybe you guys might feel comfortable to use the B more than A, because if you are using the B, you are quite sure black cannot try to attack white. When black hane inside, white can cut, then now black will get big trouble. So this is impossible to use that. Then I'm gonna teach you why professional players are not using this move that much. The reason is when white plays here, black is gonna play hane. Of course, black need to hane outside first. And if you play here now, white didn't do anything. It made black shape became bigger. So normally white has to stretch the upper side, and then now black doesn't have to connect. Black can just hit this one stone. Can I say the heading? I'm not sure. How do I need to say? After this, white need to connect. White is quite thick, but the main point is white to get good day. While black is center, black can go to the big place, and white stepping is very, very slow. So normally, strong player doesn't really prefer to use this one. They love to use A much more. So at the first, you have to know how you can respond when they play here. Actually, they don't really afraid about this one, because now you can just connect the close to side, this one stone. This is staying at the side, and then when black push and cut, now white has many options. For example, even white can just try to fight first, because now black can't move this one stone. I don't have to touch this two stone. I can just use some tesuji here. When black is playing here, you can just capture these two stones back. So now this is impossible for black. So now in order to fight, the black need to think about strategy here. But now this is ladder, so which means black has to exchange to save this two stone and this one stone and these two stones as well. So black can even jump or stretch here, but when you are just keep fighting like this, which fighting is better? Yeah, this one. Or even white can just try to use some pretty Haengma, something like that. I can't say black control is good enough, because now when you are keep jumping to the center, white get to step at the side, black has to step at the center. So this is one of the possible way. If black is jumping here, in the future, black has to accept this big end game. So basically, black is losing point since you are cutting here. Even white has some different move. White can just try to sacrifice here, and if you are playing here in the future, this is gonna be my sente, and still black territory is not so big. Black can get around more than 5 points, but white also very thick, and white can get many territory. Even this is possible. And if black is playing here, of course, you can Atari here, then even same. Just this situation is not really greatly suitable for this one, but even you are designing to play here, I think still this is good enough for white. And what about if white black cut opposite here? Then this is also similar. Even you can try to fight here. If you are just saving here all the time, you can try to capture these two stones. What do you think about it? In this situation, we have to use some tesuji. If you just try to touch this two stone and hane, it's impossible to capture, because now when black is playing hane, and even I can hane to capture these 3 stones. If you just ignore, then I can capture these 3 stones. So now white has to answer, and then now when you defense here, I can capture this 1 stone back, something like this. So now touching 2 stones are not good idea. You shouldn't touch, and you just need to attach here. And now black can't go out like that. Now it's impossible to go out. So only what black can do that is lower hane. And then now you can just cut here. Then even though black plays here, you can capture the main group of the black. So now this is not available to fight. So which means since you cut here, you have to return to defense here. And now if ladder is working, you can play. Even ladder doesn't work, then you can just keep fighting something like this. Now these two stones, control is still really bad. So now it's not good to fight. So most of the time when they want to play something like this, then you can play, yeah, even strategy is okay. You have many options. If I just tell you more simple one, then even you go to vital point is okay. This is also one of the vital point. This is not trying to capture the black. Just like when black is playing here, of course we are ready to capture. Now this is impossible to black. So which means black has to return this way. Then now you can just push. And when black is playing here, even I just stretch here, you know, black get this way, but white get much more territory. If black is playing something differently, maybe this is possible to play. But now even you exchange one time, even you can skip is okay. When you go here, now territory is so good now. Black lost all the territory. That is the reason normally we don't really have to be afraid him to play here. So after you connect, however you can fight that you want. However. So now how black has to do that? If you want to continue to play, normally we just answer with one space jump. Even it seems slow, then when we have in the future, when we have a fighting, something like this position is good at power. You can just cut and try to fight. If this fighting is still not good, because every time when you are cutting something like this, you have to lose the big end game to white in the future. So normally we don't really prefer to fight with even this one, but sometimes it can be powerful. So now you have to just accept here and you have to wait for this one in the future. And even when you have an invasion, then also the power is much better. But it doesn't mean this is working right now. And so now why we don't play the knight move is because of a power as well. When you just try to fight in the future, now still when you are fighting, there is such kind of aging. Of course you can cover by this one, but now you have to lose all the side, something like that. It's really painful. So white can even switch. So now if you want to use the basic answer for black, I can recommend you one space jump is much better for the future. So this can be better for 1 point or 2 point, but you can't beat the white. That is the reason why you can see the one space jump more. Okay, then now you understand. If white wants to cover this one, do you know how you can cover? Normally we don't play here. Of course white can think about tenuki first. In case if we are covering, normally we are using such kind of move. Just like when black is push and cut, then this became a good position. And as I told you, when you try to keep throw this one stone away, and normally such kind of a thing is also sente. So most of the time this push and cut is not really valuable. So now when white want to defense in the future, then you can use here. But normally right now you don't have to play. Okay, then I have to prepare one more example. Okay, we have to study different situation as well. Just now when you see the white group, white was handling the big shape, but this time white two stones are in weak situation. Now you have to take care of this weak stone. If you are just jumping out to the center, sometimes you might be afraid to play black to play here. So now if you are just playing attachment here, which means black can play same as that I show you just now. And of course white is quite stable, but main point is white's speed is not fast enough to go out to the center. So if black just has played something like this, you need to pay something to black if your speed is not fast enough. So in such kind of situation, still we are playing this move. And now if black just try to punish white, and now you don't have to be afraid. If black is just cutting here, then you can try to use the method that I taught you. Even white just stretch here, I can say this is good enough for white because black has to capture. Now black is getting a little more territory, but black is losing just like attacking chance. If you don't like this variation, then you can think about something else. Which one is good? Let me think about it. Even you can try to use here. Then if black is just trying to accept something like that, then you can try to get more base and territory and give up this one stone. Because stone's values are always changing. This is always that I'm telling you. So normally you don't have to be afraid to play such kind of move. Then what about other way if black is cutting here? Now maybe if I just add little bit more reading, now it may not work. Just now, if I told you that if black just has played here, then white can just cut here. But this time I think black can try to play something like this. Normally white can capture with stretch, but now when black plays Hane and connect, somehow black can capture this group. Now the capturing race condition is faster. So now, it doesn't work. White can just use something different tactics. So I can't say all the time your method can be same as the one situation. When you have such kind of happen, if I am white, let me think. I'm gonna try to use such kind of aji, which means I want to support this group, and while this is also okay. Which means when black is going here, I will try to focus to take care of this group, and I will just push here. Now black must save this one stone, and he has to stretch, and I can stretch here. Which means I'm waiting for these two stones, which black has to take care of this fighting first. But main point is in the future, always black was responsible to return to here. Because otherwise, if black doesn't play, anytime when white is going back here, then this center value is getting down and white can get more territory, and even white to get more bonus in the center. And if black is returning to play here, then even you don't have to fight this group first. You can just try to take care of this group first, and you can get something else first. It's quite difficult, right? But I cannot tell you easy way than this one. So now most of the time when you stretch here, it's working, just like attach here. Yeah, most of the time. Just this situation doesn't work. So normally, even you just fight, as that I told you, maybe white might have something better move as well, something like different to Tetsuji as well. Just I made, I didn't try to make really hard, If I just play, it can be better. Because now, basically, if black is answering here, when you make longer liberty, the capturing race condition can be much better. Yeah, something like this. So now black has to block here, and then you can try to Hane and try to goes out here. Or after this, if black is keep taking care of this group, now you can try to separate these two stones. And now these two stones are not really good position. So now black has to keep capture this one stone. And now when you try to fight something like this, yeah, here. Now here we'll get some trouble, yeah, just like here, and when black plays here, now it's totally different. Black can't do anything, yeah, something like that. So now you don't have to memorize this all the variation, okay? So you can just understand the logic. If your opponent plays something like that, then you have to find out your way, how you need to fight. Of course, if black, the position is like, here is very, very thick, then now you can't use that, okay? Now if there is too thick, then you can't use that. Of course, even there are for few stones that are less than now, then you can't, sometimes it may not be available to use that. So most of the time when you cannot see the many stone here, this is working. So which means black has to answer here, and when you take care of this one, then you can just jump one space jump. Because now I told you that if black try to push and cut, this is a good position to have a sacrifice. This is not really big. Now you made it became influence. So now when you just try to step at the side, even you are losing here, you are getting something that we cannot see right now. You are getting some potential. So now there is some different Tetsuji that we have to study as well. Sometimes, especially, we are using such kind of Tetsuji as well. Because if black is capturing, now white can just try to sacrifice, and when black capture, you can attack here, or you can cover that aji, and then you can go out to the center. But main point is normally it's not good to use, because you are losing territory first. You might be happy because now your group is much thicker, but black is also much happier. That's the point. Normally we are not, we shouldn't try to use the bad exchange first. Then black doesn't have to chase this white anymore. But we have to know this information as well, because basically this is the Tetsuji that we have to use in the future. If black is using here, then you have to read here whether you can tie it like that. Sometimes this might be available if this position is a bit thicker, but you have to read whether black can try to attack something like that. When you attack, black can try to capture this 3 stone. Even you are you capture one stone of the black, it's impossible to use that. Now black territory is too big. Of course, you can try to save something like that at the side, but now this condition is also not good. Now white is getting so high damage. So now you have a method that sometimes you can just try to exchange something like this, but still I can say this is also happy for black. Basically you had a really bad exchange, so white has to go out to the center. And when you have some better base, something like here has a little bit the different situation, then when you use that, of course you can try to return here. Maybe in this situation, when you are using here, black just have to capture something like this. Then even you tidy by Sente, still the strong player doesn't really use that. Just they prefer to spend one move at the center because that was really big minus move. But in the special situation, you may have a chance to use such kind of a Tetsuji as well. When you are studying the Tetsuji book for this movement, then you can see this one, you can learn it. But you may not be sure which time is really suitable. But now, you know, what I want to tell you is that it doesn't mean you must understand 100%, but just if you understand what I'm saying, the logic, why we are using this move, then why black cannot beat white right now, and black has to jump, and when you just go out to the center, you understand the reason, right? Then that's good enough. Yeah, so now you don't have to care too much about that. Okay, thank you very much watching for my video today. I taught you high quality Haengma. This is really high quality, which means you are going to really stronger player now. You are getting stronger level. So if you enjoy and if you think this was useful, please like and subscribe for my channel. And I'm gonna prepare more useful and fun video next time. Then see you guys next time. Bye bye.